doing a good job at retaining and bringing in talent, bringing in from college graduates who stay doing better, but it's not. It's 1% above the national average. For like states that are able to retain talent. So it's not necessarily doing it significantly, but it is doing it. But the question is like, is the impact significant? Do you feel that Rhode Island is getting better at it? And if so, in what ways is it getting better at taking that talent and really utilizing it to its full potential?
This is such a there's so much lack of data, of certainty, right. But then you have so many personal stories of everyone knows a couple more than one friend that decided to leave Rhode Island because they either wanted to go out on their own, they didn't feel like this was the place for them, or they wanted to stay here, but they couldn't find the opportunity, they couldn't find a job. Is Rhode Island, I don't know if Rhode Island's doing enough to keep people here. I don't think there's more than 2/3 of businesses don't offer an internship program. Rhode Island's a hub for small businesses. So we're not doing a great job of going to small businesses and talking about the benefits of not only for your company, but just for the community in general, of just mentoring. Just mentoring, like just mentor someone, right? Just help bring up the next generation. So you have that disconnection, which is huge. That relationship gap that we have. So if you're a college student, you don't have a mentor, you're not in an internship, or maybe you're in an internship where it's just you're just doing data entry, you're not even really connected to your organization, or you're with an organization that you can't get a job in because they can't add on another employee, you're automatically going to look as Rhode Island as a whole. It's just a stepping stone. I need to venture off somewhere else. So you have that disconnect, and what I've talked about earlier. We're not integrating these colleges and universities together to go and actually be social with one another. So we're all siloed off. That's a huge disconnect. So we're not building relationships. So people I think people are not having really a great time in Rhode Island. Or we're not even doing a really good job in terms of connecting college students to the nightlife in Providence. Or if you go to URI, are you really going to drive to Providence a lot and experience what if I experience like the Arts Festival? The Arts Festival is going to be annually, so you're going to be able to experience that. Or just anything else in Rhode Island if you go to URI. There's so much that Rhode Island could be doing, and it's definitely an economic development piece. And there's a statistic out there that for every young professional that you retain that works in I think this is creative class type of job or a STEM type of job, you're going to create 4 to 5 jobs in your community. It's just where young people, where you have a hub of young people in your community, there's a lot of action going on. It's just more attractive, I think, for the state. I think Mayor Lourdes, I think Providence in general, I think we're starting that conversation. We're bringing awareness. I think it's just a matter of time to get organizations to get that data and to collectively get the colleges involved. Because the college is a huge piece of how we're going to keep college students here, how we're going to make Rhode Island attractive for them to stay here.
I've seen that, and I feel like where in terms of what attracts millennials, in addition to jobs, I think millennials need things like Urban Outfitters. They need things like Whole Foods. I feel like the millennial generation is into a lot of things that I think.
Do they need a ballpark?
We like baseball. I thought that was like America's whole pastime.
I don't know.
We were moving, but no. Apparently, these are things that are very attractive to millennials. And
you're saying the ballpark would be attractive?
I mean, I wonder where that came from. Is that a millennial push? What are
That's
other
not
things?
a millennial push.
That's not a millennial push.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, so there's a whole host. I think of issues that bring millennials here. This is not even like a millennial specific answer, but I think a lot of this boils down to relationships. Mm-hmm. A lot of this boils down to, I went to Rhode Island College, I barely hung out or even saw Providence College students, unless I went to like a Providence College bar. This is how siloed off college communities are. You had Rhode Island College bars and you had Providence College bars, where in other places of the country where they have a lot of colleges, they'll just have college bars, and people can come together, know each other, maybe network with each other, build relationships. I don't know if it's an unfortunate thing, but a couple of individuals I've spoken to that have moved to Rhode Island moved because they were in a relationship, and their partner got a job here, so they moved to Rhode Island. So I don't know if that's a true Sarai or is that. As you know, we're trying to really define what type of jobs millennials in Rhode Island specifically want. So you could create programs and really tie them into those jobs, because there's a lack of research in the state in terms of what does that generation want to do specifically here. But yeah, I don't think you really nailed down this generation.
It's interesting, you mentioned a lot of the things that millennials value. College. Millennials love school.
Yeah.
They will pay money they don't have to get as much school as they can.
Yeah.
And it's showing that millennials are some of the most, have the largest amount of loans, are investing more in are more college going than any other generation prior. And when it comes to jobs, though, millennials are across the board getting compensated less, despite the fact that they are going to school more. And so, it really comes to, maybe it's this, that millennials value other things, like, all right, maybe now with your education, you're a little bit more comfortable being a community organizer, because you're like, worst comes to worst, I got a bachelor's, like I can, with need be, go fulfill a job here or there. With my bachelor's, I'll at least be able to, make what I'm making now. Why do millennials really, feel that they, and maybe entitled is a strong word, but why do millennials feel that their job, has to be something that they love, that they're passionate about doing?
Well, what did the previous generations really strive for? They strive for a pension, a retirement fund, a party, and then a gold watch. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you stay in a company for what, like 25 plus years, right? And I think our generation, we kind of grew up and we saw that, and we saw that whole notion of being stuck in an office 9 to 5 for 20 plus years, of being stuck in a job for 20 plus years. Not really be stuck, but maybe their parents talked about a dream that they had that they couldn't achieve, or some certain professions that maybe they didn't chase because they were just in a specific job, a specific role that fed them and provided for their family. I think our generation sort of sees that, and we don't want to be stuck in that mold of a 9 to 5. I think we want to build. We want to be creative. Now, do we love college? I think college is, you have to get a bachelor's now, right? I think that's embedded in almost every millennial that wants to be successful. I think it's just the psyche. You got to get a bachelor's. But now, since a high population of our generation is getting a bachelor's, in order to be competitive, you got to get a master's now. Right. You got to get a doctorate, or you have to build. You have to start your own company, which means maybe you don't even need a bachelor's.